Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist. I'm your host, RichE, and y'all already know how I love to start off the episodes, giving thanks with gratitude, thanking y'all for listening to the podcast, sharing it, subscribing. Make sure y'all subscribe. Okay, and also share. But I want to send a shout out to all of the dedicated listeners, all of y'all that just be keeping me motivated to continue and come back here each and every week. I told y'all, consistency is what I'm looking for, and we are at the end of 2020. I have done what I said I was going to do. So I just want to send a shout out to all of y'all that's always keeping me inspired and motivated to continue to come back here each and every week. Thank y'all so much. And if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and listen to last week's conversation, number 39, where I talked about saving the mindfully rich way. And don't forget, got lots of announcements, church announcements first, y'all. Okay, we're getting all of that stuff out the way right now. Okay, the savings mindset episodes. That was conversation 37 and 38, just because we got the savings challenge that is starting January 1st. I want y'all to be, saving with me. Saving money is important. Y'all done already heard me say why. And so this week we're going to switch it up a bit. I know I told y'all in December I was going to talk about savings every week, but I think I've done enough. Go ahead and go back to the other episodes and check those out. But today is a special day. I got my fine friend in the building. I know y'all have heard me talk about my fine friends all the time. Well, I'm so excited to have one of them with me. I have Miss China Lovelace. Hey, girl.
Hey, RichE.
So let me tell y'all about my friend before I let her, tell y'all all about her or whatever. But China is a media personality, a journalist, and an entrepreneur. I am so excited to have her here with me. We have a very special topic that I wanted to talk about with her. But before I go into all of that stuff, girl, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I love your podcast. So I'm just like, I get to be on here and talk to the people. Hey.
Well, thank you for also, and that's something that I got to tell y'all. So my friends were the one who encouraged me to go ahead and get started. And so I didn't want to bother them too much. So when I get so excited when they tell me I listen to the episode or when they're sharing it, like it's organic. Like I don't just push it. I'm not a pusher of the podcast on y'all, right? I just let y'all like it and, y'all do y'all thing. Okay, so thank you, girl, for being here. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead and tell the people just a little bit about you.
Well, hey, y'all. Again, I am one of the fine friends, China Lovelace. I currently work for The Shade Room, the biggest blog out there. Y'all follow us, y'all the roommates and everything. We be giving y'all the tea, the positive images, and the news, okay?
All right.
But outside of working for The Shade Room, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own media platform, Always Relevant TV. And I have my t-shirt and accessory line for the thick girls.
Yes.
The girls, plush mommy gang. So, I do a little bit of everything,
Yes. Well, China, thank you so much for being here. And we do have two other fine friends. And so just to let you know, our circle is 4 of us. And so I do have one of them here with me today. Shout out to the other fine friends. But today we talking about them scammers. And so China, each and every episode, I like to have a music title inspiration for the episode. And so this week, the music title inspiration comes from G-Eazy, okay. No Limit, just because I wanted to use the it ain't safe. And this is the Scamming on IG episode. And so you inspired this whole episode for me to talk about this just because, you know what? I'm going to let you go ahead and let the people know what happened to you. Go ahead and explain what happened to you.
Ooh, child. So, I've been working with the Shade Room since September. And, we tag all of the writers when they write stories. So, of course, I went from about 5,000 followers to almost 12,000 followers now.
That was quick.
Very quickly.
How fast did that go up?
I write about 3 stories a day.
Yeah.
And every time I would write a story, people were coming to my page who is China Lovelace? Me. But
it's I feel like they go to the page just to say, who is that?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
follow.
The roommates are very meticulous. They like, we ain't never seen this name, so people was coming to see who I be. You know? So very quick. It's only been about 3 months, so I grown from 5,000 to 12,000, which is cool. It has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But most recently, earlier this month, I had got woken up and I had noticed that my inbox was booming. I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. And a lot of people were like, China, did you create a new Instagram page?
Because, and it wasn't somebody's son. I mean, let me tell you what.
It wasn't a man. DMs,
the DMs can pop for that.
But DMs are open. I'm single and ready to mingle.
Single.
But yeah, I had some people that I knew from college or, just my Instagram followers that I know in real life. Like, China, like, did you start a new page? Because they're asking for money. And I'm like, I don't ask for money, and I'm not asking for people to shop me out.
Right,
like, if anything, y'all asking me to shop you out.
Right.
But when I looked, someone had created a whole fake Instagram account. They had started taking my picture, put it on there, created, like, they copied my whole bio down pack. But I think it just had like maybe 2 A's at the end or 2 E's at the end, something like that. Yeah. And so
I think it was a 1.
Oh yeah, China _ Lovelace 1. Weird. So I had to like tell people, that's not me. And they were like, we thought it wasn't you because it didn't even have any posts on there.
It sure didn't.
So
I text you that morning because I remember when I saw it, like, I had got a follow and I was like, I know dang on well she did not create another Instagram. And I went to it and I saw, I think it was like 6 people that were following. Yeah. And it was like a bunch of people that this other person had started following, like your friends and stuff. And I was like, I text like screenshot, girl, what's going on here?
Yeah, it wasn't me because I'm not asking nobody for no money. Child.
Yeah.
So I posted it on my page like, hey, this is a fake page. Like, y'all go and report this. And the page did get taken down quickly. Majority of the people that did message me like, hey, your page is spamming, change your password, or this doesn't look fake. This is just not your characteristic.
Right.
But there was one person that texted me personally, and they fell into the scam, which I thought was so crazy because it's like, you are the one that always told me, RichE, if something looks too good to be true, then it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true.
And so that individual actually did send some money to that person because they were like, cash at me this amount and you'll get this amount on the back end. I'm like, that was not even me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if anything looks too good to be true,
then it's too good to be true. And so take me through, like, how did that feel though? Just because I know, because your visibility went up on social media, how did that feel though to just know that why somebody's targeting me? Someone would do this to me. Like, how did that feel?
It was like, first of all, it was just like, dang, like the audacity. Like,
right.
I thought it was just really just random and it was really weird. But I'm just like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to read. Like, look at my page.
Right.
I have so many pictures. I'm a pretty transparent person. I low-key put everything on social media.
Right.
Not everything, but low-key.
Right.
I be posting my pictures and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like,
I'm out here.
In these streets.
Yes.
But I'm like, there was nothing on that page. And I'm like, for someone to send money and they not even, it just shows like y'all can just be easily persuaded.
Correct.
And I don't like that.
Correct. And so that's the reason why I said it ain't safe out here in these streets. But I want to talk about, that happened to you. So you were a victim. And then also others then became victims that were following the page that were looking for the come up, essentially. Yeah. Just because there's this mentality, which we know, of people wanting some type of come up. What was the come up that the scammer that created a profile like yours, what was the come up they were selling to your followers?
I don't remember like the exact wording, but basically they were just saying like, hey, if you send me this amount of money, I will give you this amount of money in exchange. Like, so they were going to flip the money basically type of thing. And they were going to get some type of shout out.
Right.
And I'm just like, why would I be giving y'all money?
Right. And is it worth flipping money and then a shout out? Is it really worth that? And so that's something that I really wanted to dissect, just because I don't know what's going on where of course, the name of the game on social media is the likes.
Mm-hmm.
The likes and who you know and who can, I guess it'd be beneficial for them if they have some type of business or something like that.
Yeah.
But the main thing was they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with identity theft that I think people aren't aware of. They don't think that it can happen to them, but identity theft can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Although you did, like you said, your visibility, of course, went up. So that's what made you a target there. And of course, when you have people following you who you don't know who they are, thousands of people, you don't know who they are, you don't know what everyone's intentions are, your page isn't private, so of course they can come in and do whatever it is they want to do. But I want to talk about those followers who were victim of the scam as well. I don't understand how they would even allow that to just say, oh, random message from you that's telling them, oh, I shot you. So they just thought that day you were just like, let me just go ahead and send messages out to everybody and let them know I shot them out if they pay me.
Yeah.
Normally it's the other way around. You normally pay for a promotion.
Right.
It's normally not, I'm going to do this. Or, I don't know what everybody be doing on social media. Let me stop. I really don't know what everybody be doing. But that was something to me that this person wouldn't pay attention and still sent this person money.
Right. And then the fake page didn't even have any photos of me. It just literally was a brand new page, zero post.
Yeah.
And they had just started following people and DMing. So it's like, we, of course, like no one deserved to be scammed, but you have to also pay attention. Come on now, look and see. Especially they were following my real page.
Correct.
So.
And it's just, like, remember what I said, that morning, I noticed that it was a difference. I saw the one at the end, and I'm just kind of like, I see your profile all the time. I know that there's not a one, like, this don't even seem right. And like you said, I know you didn't go through your page and delete every single thing. And so, just going back to it, people, y'all, pay attention when you on social media. Pay attention. Just because what happened to you, I've also heard a case of where people take pictures and they play like they have this whole family and they're just stealing pictures for the identity theft. But in this case, there was actually some type of monetary gain for someone. Took your whole picture. I mean, the whole profile, everything. Y'all, if y'all could have saw this, the description, everything, like had it down to a T.
Yeah.
People are out here. It is not safe. And people do have ill intent. And y'all do have to pay attention and definitely don't be a part of the scam. Do your research.
Yeah.
That word rings true. I know we hear that, of course, in Greekdom, but that's true in real life. You got to do your research first. Okay, let me just take a look. And a lot of people are just lazy and they just don't.
Yeah.
They just don't. And so when it comes to protecting yourself on social media, because you are a media personality, your page isn't going to be private. You just have to probably secure yourself with strong passwords and ensure, probably now monitor the things that you do share and the things that you won't be sharing on social media.
Yeah.
But for those of y'all that are listening, please make sure that if you don't want to become a victim of identity theft, make your page private. Go through your followers. The people you don't know, go ahead and remove them. If you feel that there's some type of, ill intent from someone, you can always make your page private. It does not have to be out there. But, that's up to you. But just know that it can happen. And make sure y'all have those strong passwords. Make sure that, you're going through. I go through my followers all the time just to see. I even go to some of their pages. Now with you're not going to go through 12,000 people's profiles.
At all.
I'm still itty bitty. So sometimes during the weekend, I be like, let me see who these people are, just so I can see. But if y'all ever feel that you are a victim of identity theft, also make sure that you cancel any old social media profile. So say if you used to, because I know people who have multiple IGs, make sure that you delete those accounts so those aren't just open out there. Even if it's Facebook or any of those other ones, make sure you don't have that out there. Just because identity theft is something that will happen to everyone. It's just what you do next. And luckily, in this case, nothing happened to you.
Right.
So that was the social media part of the scamming.
Thank the Lord.
Let's talk about some other scamming things that have happened.
Gosh. Yes, because I feel like I've had so many situations. I mean, thank God it's never been anything like where I have to like call Experian or, Equifax and say like somebody's got my information. But even the time that I got a fake check in the mail.
Yeah.
I was out. Look, now let me tell y'all.
We get money, right?
We get, Look. This was, 2018, I was just getting ready to go on vacation to Belize. And I had really been wanting this MCM bag for a long time, Richie. You remember I was telling you
and
about
you was
that.
like, Lord, look at you.
I was like, God,
look at you.
I was like, God, is it you? And I opened the mail. And the thing about these fake checks is I've heard other people get them in the mail as well too.
Yeah.
It came from a bank, which is Santander, and I believe that is a real bank.
It's a real finance company.
Isn't that more international?
It's a auto finance company.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. See, I had it wrong. So
yeah,
you there?
It's okay. No, it's an auto finance company.
But so it came. It didn't come like in a regular envelope. It came like if you overnight something, it came in like in a nicer type of envelope. Yeah. So I opened it up. I'm like, okay, ooh, I got some money.
Yeah.
So then I just was like, you know what? I'm not expecting a check from anybody. It's not like a government issued check or a county issued check or even class action lawsuit from one of these jobs I worked at.
We'll take the class action.
Right.
Okay.
So I just Googled Santander, and the first thing that came up was scam, fraud. And so I called you, Richie. I'm like, I got this check in the mail.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. I know the bank. I Googled it, and you was like, if it's anything that looks too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Let me tell you what, that's just gonna be the word for today, okay? I mean, seriously, because if and that check did, how much was the check for?
I think it was right under like maybe $300. It was like 200 and something.
Okay.
So it wasn't a big amount, but it was big enough for me to get that bag.
Of course. Of course. But it was, so the thing with checks, and what I always love to tell people, in addition to, if it looks too good to be true, when I get a check from someone, I always cash it at their bank. That's number one. But if I'm not expecting a check, I'm not cashing a check. What are you sending me this check for? Don't just think the Lord just sent you a check from out of nowhere and then all of a sudden now you got some money. Me being in the financial industry for the last 14 years, I've seen all of the scams, the Nigerian scams, the other scams that have been going on. There's also this thing called sweetheart scams. I didn't get into the social media scams that happen on Facebook. Tons of fraud stuff going on Facebook. But, we're talking about fraud as a whole. Yeah. But that's the thing. When y'all receive checks in the mail, don't just go to your bank and go cash it, put it in your account. And then as soon as you cash it, then that money is coming right back out of your account because it was a bad check. Yeah. If you're not expecting nothing, you're not getting nothing, don't do that. Now, those class action lawsuit checks, those, for the most part, you normally know that you're about to get. And if you do receive one of those class actions, take it to the bank. Look at the bottom of the check. The bank will be on the bottom of the check, and you can cash it at that bank. So that way, the funds are coming directly out of that bank and it's not being deposited into your account. And then if it's bad, the funds be taken out of your account. Right. So that's something that people should always make sure that they're watching out for with these checks that come in the mail.
Yeah. And I wanted to say something with that too. And if it's a class action lawsuit, you're not going to, and this is another way people can protect themselves from a scam. You're not going to get a class action lawsuit check from a company you never worked for.
Correct.
Or never were affiliated from, because I know even with Uber and Lyft, they're having their thing. So you never worked at Sprint or T-Mobile, but you getting a check from them. That
just out
suspect.
The blue. You know what? I did work there, huh? No, I did not work there. Now, I will say I did get a class action lawsuit from... These are the times I be thinking it really is God. I got one from an electric company when I lived in Mississippi, and they said they charged us too much. And credit check was over $500. And I was like, what? Yeah. But I called the company and said, hey, I just want to ensure that I was supposed to receive this check. And the girl gave me the details. Call the actual source. Don't call the number that's listed on any paperwork that you receive. Google, that's the reason why we got Google. Google the actual company so that you can call that company directly and say, hey, what's this about? And they should be able to give you those details.
Yep, that's a tip. That's a tip.
Finger snap. Yes, finger snap. And so I told you that fraud also almost happened to my mom. So my dearly departed mother, my mom, she received a text message from somebody that said he was from a government agency, quote unquote, and told her, long story short, it was like 3 long texts. Yeah. Number one, nobody from the government is sending anybody text, right? And then number 2, he said, if you send in $1,500, I'll send you $50,000. First of all, what?
The government giving out checks like that?
Yeah.
We can't even get a
stimulus. Oh my goodness. And so I remember arguing with my mom, that this is fraud. This is fraud. It ain't safe, basically. And she was like, how you know? Because I know. You let everybody else get their money. Let them participate in this. And then if they get their money, we'll participate in it. And guess what? They didn't get their money. And so the main thing about fraud that I really wanted to uncover is when people are in some type of financial hardship or when they need something, when people are they're at that need point, like I have to get a bag, I have to get this, I have to get that. They fall for these types of scams. And it's unfortunate just because it's a lot of people out here in the world that need money, that need different things. And so they are more susceptible to falling for these scams. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this episode, to bring light to y'all. Pay attention. Do your research. Don't just fall for these scams. You know, do you get the calls? The people that call on the phone that say that they from like a collection agency, or sometimes they try to act like, girl, they didn't got good. I had somebody call me, say they was from AT&T before, and I'm just like, oh, I don't even have AT&T service. Do you have the internet? When you call me, you supposed to know what you have. I play on the phone with them now. Okay? You got to have your scam details together when you call me. Okay.
For sure. I mean, I feel like now, because, you know, I have a iPhone, they're really good about the scam likely phone calls. But I almost got caught one time because, you know, I'm one of them people, unfortunately, I owe the IRS for my taxes. And
girl,
trying to work.
We didn't all live life. Yeah, we didn't live some life.
Adulting
happens. Okay, y'all.
So one time, I received a phone call and they were just like, you know, you owe the IRS and you need to pay. And so I got panicked because I'm like, I know I'm working on that. Yeah. I sent them a little payment arrangement.
Like, oh my goodness, y'all not getting my payments?
Right. So I told my friend, and they like, China, the IRS is not calling you. But you know what? I was just like, you're absolutely right, because I get the letters in the mail. So, they're really sneaky, especially during this holiday time. But I wanted to ask you, RichE, is, you know, because it's the holiday time, is this like one of the most peak times of the year?
This is definitely the peak time, just because so the number one fraud is credit card fraud, because credit cards are it's easy. Yeah. You know, the only thing you need, especially if you have the card, all you need is their zip code. And that's really easy to get. You can Google people now and get their whole address and be like, fine. Which sucks, right?
Yes,
don't nobody Google me, okay? Mind y'all business. But it's really easy to get that information. And just because of the time of year, you know, people are utilizing their cards more in different areas where they normally don't utilize it. Yeah. So the scammers, they put those card machines in different areas, whether it's a gas station or at ATM machines.
Skimming devices.
Yeah, so they can take information. So this is the time that you need to be paying attention, just because identity theft, it ain't no punk. Like, some people have had it be small, and I don't want to call it small, because when it's happening, it doesn't feel small. Yeah. So people have had it where it was just, say, a fraud transaction when you get the call from the bank. They've had, say, a social media, something that's happened on social media before, and someone took their profile and just tried to recreate their life, where they just shut that account down, like what you had to do. Others have had, you know, things bigger, where they've had their whole identity taken, social security numbers, and things that really took time to fix. Right. And so, because identity theft sucks and it can take a long time to get everything straight, y'all just make sure you are monitoring your personal information. If you having people over to the house right now, although I know we in a pandemic, but you know,
a panoramic.
Yes, this panoramic that we in. Make sure that y'all are monitoring your personal information. Monitor what you're putting on social media, and when you are shopping online, making sure that you're looking at those websites, because they have those fake websites too.
Oh my God!
Yes, and you get on there and you start, because we're trained. Think about it like this: when we pay for a lot of stuff online now, you just get trained to just input, right? And you don't even think, oh, is this the real site? Is this cool or not? You don't think of that. So it's like, we just have to be more vigilant and make sure we're paying attention so we don't get scammed by these scammers. Because think of it, girl, the scammers, they ain't got nothing to do other than scam us.
Yeah. And it's so funny, because I'm like, I've actually been on the opposite end. Like, now that I'm just thinking about some more stuff, like, you know, I've been the end where someone created a profile, or like they sent me a fake check. But I also have been on the end where I kind of fed into a scam, because I didn't know it was a scam. Over the summer, I went to DC. Remember, I was telling you. So for y'all, because y'all, you know, y'all not.
I'm
sorry. I went to DC over the summer, and I have been wanting to go to certain tattoo artists because they're African American men, and they do really well color on black skin.
That's right.
And I feel like that's something that we don't really have in California. So the people that I wanted to go to were booked. So I'm like, dang, but I still really want to get these tattoos. Yeah. I did some research. Instagram is my go-to. Hair, nails. I'll find somebody quick on a hashtag. Yeah. So I found this guy, and he was going to do 2 small tattoos for me for I think like $150. Yeah. And I just had to send the deposit on Cash App. Yeah. So I sent the deposit of $60 on Cash App. I go down to the tattoo shop. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you got scammed. Juan does not exist. He's been scamming people. Yeah. And so, it was just a crazy thing. So it is really easy to become a victim. I think for me, the only reason why I didn't know, one, I don't live in DC. I'm a California resident. And so when I go and look at anybody's page that I'm interested in a service, I'm going to look at their work. And I'm like, oh, his tattoos look really good. Right. And so when I got in there and she told me, you've been scammed, contact your bank. They were just like, just, be mindful. The price was very cheap. Yeah. And I don't really have a lot of tattoos. I have 6. But, a lot of them, I got them in college. And so, I'm used to paying maybe $60 for a word tattoo or, $75 for like a small thing. So I was like, oh, dang. And then I had to think back because I had already done my research on the tattoo artist that I really wanted to go to. Yeah. They had a link in the bio, so you had to like set up an appointment. So, it goes both ways, but, like Richie, you said, do your research.
But China, I remember, dude, because remember, he basically did what happened to you. Yeah. He took the profile of the real dude, because the real dude was in Chicago, I believe. And I was just like, shut up. Like, I went to his profile. But who thinks to do that? Who thinks to say, let me make sure that this is him? And all he did was add something at the end, too, and took homie's pictures and put it onto his site.
Yeah. So the fake profile was like Juan Tattoos, but he stole someone else's pictures, and I think their name was Juan. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, people just really are scamming and don't have no mercy.
Y'all, it happens. And that's the thing. The reason why we're doing this is so we can tell you it happens. But when it happens, just knowing what to do, just like that person told you, contact your bank. They get that situated. How long did it take you to get the money back?
Now, I will say this about Cash App. I've always been an advocate, if you have to pay for a service or even if you shop online, go through PayPal, because if you don't get the product or the service, or if something is not as supposed to be, PayPal is really good about opening up a claim and giving your money back. I've had to file disputes in the past. Cash App is not the same. They not fooling with you. So I bank with Chase. I never had any issues with Chase. I called them and let them know I got scammed, and they was like, okay, we'll file the claim. Right. So I got a temporary credit of the $60, but it ended up getting reversed, and they kind of told me that up front, like, with Cash App we can't really guarantee. So if you do have to send any money through Cash App and it is a scam, most likely you're not going to get that money back. So I just took an L.
Really? Yeah. See, I didn't know that about Cash App. Yeah. I'm going to start taking deposits through Cash App, only so y'all can't do no chargebacks. Because you know how people get, okay? So, but Dig, I didn't know that. So thank you for telling everybody that you wasn't able to get that back.
Yeah, no, I wasn't able to. But I definitely, if it was through PayPal, they're really good about that. If you don't get the service or the product. So
that makes you more vigilant. So y'all, that's a tip. If someone's telling you through social media, send a deposit through Cash App, you may have to do your research, just knowing, since China just told us she wasn't able to get her money back. That's something, you know what? I think it's some verbiage on Cash App that says that. Make sure that you're sending it to the right person, because I don't believe that they give any money back. That was their safeguard.
They just I feel like more recently over the past year, they did do something where you can request a refund from whoever you sent the money to, in case like you put their name wrong or anything like that, or you can cancel it. Yeah. But once you send that money and you try to request it back, like I didn't even attempt to request it back because I got scammed. So
yeah. But y'all, I mean, the reason why we're sharing these details is so that you make sure that you are paying attention. And if identity theft, scam, or any of those things do happen to you, make sure you go back to the source. So if you find that you have some fraudulent transactions on your credit card, you contact your credit card issuer. If it's your bank, you contact your bank. If it's PayPal, you contact PayPal. Do whatever it is that needs to be done so that you can get those things cleared up. And girl, I so hate that happened to you.
I know. Me too, but
Oh,
I ended up
goodness.
getting my tattoo in California, so I was okay. But
Yeah, but still. But y'all just make sure y'all are paying attention when you are getting services, when you're trying to find people online. Make sure they are who they say they are. It's a lot of catfishing going on out here, and you just want to make sure that you're not getting scammed, and you don't want to be scammed. So make sure you are paying attention to all your social media platforms, making sure everything is on the up and up. You're not cashing no checks that you know you wasn't supposed to receive. You paying attention to these text messages that's coming in, the calls. Pay attention, because none of us are above getting scammed. We just ain't, period. Okay? So, now I want to talk about Clubhouse. Okay? I know.
Now, we gotta get them hip. Because, I'm not sure if your listeners know about Clubhouse.
I know. And so I haven't started a room on Clubhouse yet, just because I still have the party hat. So what happens on Clubhouse when you're brand new, you have a party hat for 8 days. And so I'm still just learning the lay of the land. But I am so addicted to this app. And so I'm trying to figure out, I probably should describe what Clubhouse is. Can you describe what Clubhouse is?
So right now, Clubhouse is the hot new application. Basically, it's different rooms, and instead of messaging or anything like that, they do have the DM options, but everything is audio. So you raise your hand, you ask for permission to speak, and then so you can go in there and you can just listen, or you can partake in the conversation. So I think it's really cool. Like, they have all type of different rooms. It's really good for networking.
It is.
There's so many different.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, there's so many different entrepreneurs on there, and even celebrities like Meek Mill is on there, 21 Savage.
They on there the most. I see them all the time.
They are on there the most.
All the time.
But, since I'm in the media entertainment industry, I try to go into those rooms and talk with my different colleagues and meet people and network. And I just hear all type of stuff. You're doing Forex, you can be on there. Yeah. If you're in a Greek life, you can be on there. Anybody can be on there.
There was a group on there talking about aliens. Y'all, it be at night. It's slide in, who you want to talk to, shoot your shot, slide in my DMs type talk. It's just a room for everything. And I'm loving, because we're millennials.
Yes.
And people don't like talking on the phone.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And it's hard dealing with, because everybody just wants to text. But on this app, I said, look at all these people who are having these conversations, these rooms, y'all, they be having these conversations for hours.
Yeah.
And
hours. They've been going in, and it's such a variety of conversations, and it's people in there I just feel like if anybody wants to do networking or just shoot a shot, that's the perfect platform, because
it sure is.
Right before we started doing the podcast, I was listening to one music producer, Jay White. He does beats for Cardi B, and he produced Megan Thee Stallion Savage, and somebody was just I don't understand how people are not in here beating you down, hey, I got this music or whatever. But it's if you want to get put on, and people are very receptive to, hey, I'm in this industry.
They're giving you free game.
Free game,
they saying, come to my DM and ask me a question. Y'all better do this early before they start charging or find a way to monetize. Look, right now I am taking advantage of every single piece of information that I'm able to gain, and so I like it for networking too.
Yeah, and it's pretty safe, because even though people talk about it on Twitter and stuff, you can know what happened if you're not on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
I think that they are just putting into their policies, if you screen record or anything like that, you're gonna get kicked off the platform. So it's safe, if you out there cutting up on Clubhouse, you ain't gonna be in the streets.
I always tell, so one of my sorors, she did a room where she talked about welcome. It was a welcome to Clubhouse for a lot of people in my sorority and our frat, right? And so I said, hey, y'all make sure y'all use discretion if you see me in a room, because you can see what rooms people in. Man, your business.
Right. You in my business?
You in my
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay? So I told everybody, make sure you mind your business. And it's not a place where you should be checking up, oh, I see such and such in here. Because it does give you kind of an insight as to what people's interests are. And so you don't want to villainize that, you know, and be oh, I saw you in the moan room or whatever the case may be.
These rooms is off the chain. But like I said, don't be in my business. You don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? So, but China, I just appreciate you being here today.
Thank
and so
you.
I want you to let the people know where they can find you, how they can support you. Go ahead and let them know.
Yes. So I am on Facebook, but I'm not going to give y'all my government. But no, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at China, just like the country, _ Lovelace, one word, just like it sounds, but I'll spell it out for you, LOVELACE. If y'all have any media questions or you want to find out more about my businesses, y'all can slide in my DMs. I'm friendly. I'm single again.
Yes. Come on, single. Single in the city.
Yes.
Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Of course, this is the 40th episode. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do one next week just because I just don't know. This is already Christmas week. I may just take a chill and just let it be 40 episodes for the year. The one thing I just want to say is thank you to everyone who has been listening. Y'all done been riding with me for 40 episodes. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are the reason why I do this podcast. This is a labor of love. I am a one-woman team.
Yes.
Me and China are sitting right here at my table right now doing the podcast, making it happen. And so I truly appreciate y'all supporting me. Next year, look for some big things to be happening. I got lots of rebranding that I'm doing. I'm learning a lot on Clubhouse, so I got some changes that I need to make so that I can be more profitable in the upcoming year. And so I just want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all listening. China, I appreciate you being my fine friend. Thank you so much. Shout out to the fine friend.
Yes, I'm so happy that you are just, you've been doing 40 episodes. Yes. And I just remember when you first started. And y'all, RichE is just so bomb. She your friend that's going to tell you when you right, you wrong. She going to pray for you. She going to hold you up when you're crying. She going to get your finances together. That's right. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
I'm just excited to see what 2021 is going to do for Mindfully Rich. Let me get my words right.
Yes. And so thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And so y'all already know that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Until next time when I hit y'all with another one.